WWE 2K14, graphics versus features. This is kind of a debate video. I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. This is just, it's your opinion. It's what you want to hear, what you want to say, what you feel in your heart. Now, I want to start out with this because I've seen a lot of comments on the trailer video, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with the way they did the trailer, but it's still pretty cool. A lot of people had said, the graphics are the same. They're shit. They're just crappy. And my initial response is, are you serious? Like, the people I see complain a lot of the times are people that chose games like, Here Comes the Pain. And, you say to them, well, the graphics suck. Yeah, but the features were awesome. And nowadays with video games, we've got some pretty awesome features with the Attitude Era, oh my god moments, comebacks, all things that make gameplay more interesting. But yet people complain about the graphics. The same people that stood by the features in old video games. So this is kind of my thoughts and opinions on this in a way that, if you think about it, the console is going on 7 years. And I honestly think we are kind of limited right now in a few different ways. And here's what I want to bring up in features and gameplay, especially because if you notice in the game, they don't have more than a 3-on-3 match. Royal Rumbles don't get tons of people in the ring. They limit them at 4, how many ever it is. And the reason being, especially with Money in the Bank being the biggest 6-man, is with the current console, they're limited. I don't know if it's usage, space, data allocation, what it is. They can't have all those superstars in the ring. And, things start glitching, and they have big matches. The referee and the ring announcer are no longer in the ring, and a lot of things happen. And to me, I think that is limited to the console. If you think about it, the PS3 when it came out had, 128, 256 megabyte of RAM. Look at how far consoles, and just computers in general, have came, where I now have 16 gigabytes of RAM running my games, and yet the consoles have, 512? I think there's a big limit on what games and what consoles can do now. And a lot of people are blaming Ukes and 2K. A lot of people said, 2K took over, the graphics are going to be awesome. All video games have cartoony type graphics. These graphics in this video game, I think, are awesome. There are some bad player models. There are some models that, just aren't good, whether or not it be from the budget issues, things like that pull away from the look. Now, I will agree with you. And as much as, I like Corey and Aubrey and the guys at WWE Games, there are some models that are majorly messed up. Beth Phoenix comes to mind. Abs just how do you mess up that bad? But at the same time, you were so limited on budget concerns, the downfall of THQ in a way. Now they're with 2K. And I expect going forward a lot of awesome features with 2K. They have a little bigger, studio. They push out a lot more big titles than THQ did. I think there's a lot of potential going forward. But with that being said, 2K acquired them where they were already in the design cycle with Ukes, and their contract says they put out a yearly title. So therefore, you can't just scrap it for a year and then come out with WWE 2K15 next year as a whole new console. They put out this title, who knows, on next-gen consoles, the graphics could be super lifelike. I'm hoping and expecting for the next-gen consoles to be a major boost up. I think on this console, if you look at where the graphics were back in 2007, you look at the features, it is very disappointing. One of my favorite things in GM mode in 2007, 2008 is to do GM mode. But when you're trying to pace a match with things like, oh my god moments, comebacks, and it's really frustrating back in the older games because it's not as easy. The submission system sucked. I think this game and WWE 13, WWE 2K14 have, you trade it off on graphics because it's at its peak level right now, but the features make it a heck of a lot better. If you go back and play those older games, I honestly can't stand not having limb targeting. Think of all the stuff we have now that we didn't have back in the older games. Back in the older days, you didn't have commentary. You didn't have limb targeting. You didn't have oh my god moments. You didn't have comeback moments. You could wrestle out in the arena or the crowd or outside, or you could climb up on the table, or you could put a title on an exhibition match. There's trade-offs. There's always going to be trade-offs. But to say graphics are crap and shit. If you go back and look at the generation of PS1, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, the graphics have massively improved. They're at their peak right now. That's my thought. And I think I would much rather have a gameplay-rich feature selection than I would have absolutely perfect graphics. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/TubbyEmu.